And don't forget you can catch up on the latest world news every weekday morning at 7 and 8 on the Channel 4 Daily. Now comment, which tonight comes from VJ Amritraj. Next tonight we're off to Waddington, where after a month with 29 television channels, the people are beginning to argue amongst themselves as to their ownership and control, including their own village station. Starting in a few minutes on ITV, the continuing saga of war and remembrance.
Tomorrow night, live on ITV, the battle of the World Cup's fallen giants. From victors to vanquished, Argentina face their darkest hour. Can Maradona's men forget their first match humiliation and find their true form to avoid a crushing defeat? Or will the Soviet Union save face and salvage their own World Cup campaign? Both sides will be desperate for victory. Argentina play the USSR tomorrow at 7:45, live on ITV.
I know, but he won't listen to me. He's packed his bag and he's leaving. I think you better come home.
So, you want to leave? Okay, let me help you. You're going to need plenty of clothes, because Mummy's not going to be there to wash them. Some books and games to keep you busy. It's a good job we've got plenty of room in the back here. You're going to need something to sleep on, and a friend to say goodnight to. Okay, where do you want me to drop you? Shall we unload the car?
Now available at 0% finance over 2 years.
If you get a headache, you just don't feel very bright. And if the pain gets worse, it can really get you down. To stop bad pain, try a painkiller with something extra. Anadin Extra, 40% more pain reliever than many ordinary tablets. Anadin Extra turns off pain.
Can I help you, sir?
The balance on my Instant Extra account, please.
I'll just tap in your details.
We're in the money. We're in the money. We've got a lot of what it takes to get along. We're in the money. Come on, money. Let's spend it, lend it, send it, going along.
With an Instant Extra account, you'll enjoy high interest and instant access. And we won't make a song and dance about it.
Do these babies want their British gas heating turned up or down? He's happy. If he was cold, his fur would stand up to trap warm air. He'd shiver, increasing his body heat by 5 times. He'd hug himself to keep warm. She's not saying much. If her fur is standing up, it's hard to see. She won't have the ability to shiver for months or hug herself. The only way to tell is to touch her. She's fine. Hardly surprising. British gas central heating is one of the most controllable systems known to man or beast.
How about this for a greasy lot of washing up? A real test for washing up liquid. So I thought you lot could do it today. Okay, everyone, so we'll test Fairy against the best of these well-known brands, all right? To start with, both do well. But after a while, it's a different story.
Ugh, greasy.
But Fairy keeps on cutting through the grease.
Ow.
And it's as mild as ever. Just look how much more Fairy can do. Because when grease beats the rest, the best keeps going.
Channel 4 broadcasts a wide and diverse range of programmes which we hope appeals to our audience. But from time to time, complaints can arise. If you feel that you have a complaint to make, it can be dealt with in various ways. By us here at Channel 4, notably in our weekly programme Right to Reply, by the Independent Broadcasting Authority, or by the Broadcasting Complaints Commission. You can find details of the different steps you can take in this leaflet, and if you'd like a copy, please write to us at this address. Channel 4 Television Limited, 60 Charlotte Street, London, W1P 2AX.
You're watching Channel 4 as the people of Waddington look to the future.
After 21 years working there.
Next week at 8, as the project comes to a close, Home Secretary David Waddington returns to the television village to hear the locals' views on the future of television. It's not football. It's Friday's short story, looking at Britain's last remaining free oyster fishery on the River Fell in Cornwall.
This oyster fishing job is something that gets in your system. You can't give it up. You get to like it so much and love the freedom, but this is really what I like to do.
Friday at 8. Channel 4, a different set of goals. Next, from the World Cup to Wimbledon, Checkout compares ticket prices for the big sporting events and highlights the dangers of sun-seeking when the price of sunburn could mean your life.
This looks like a nice spot, Deb.
Nice spot. I could have been with Tracy in Lanzarote. Oh, give us the lolly, you wally.
Well, all I can say is Tracy wouldn't have queued up to get your precious Lyons Maid favourite centre, would she, Debbie?
Absolutely fantastic.
Don't overdo it, Deb. It weren't a long queue.
Have you discovered your favourite centre?
Lanzarote. I thought Tracy had a Cortina.
Vinto. Vinto. The taste you can't forget.
Some packaging has always been small and neat, so there's not a lot to throw away. It's the same with this handy little Lenore refill. So don't bin your empty bottle. Fill it with this and water to make a full litre. And all you've got to bin is this tiny little package, which means less waste in the environment and also less cost to you. Fill the bottle, not the bin.
When you know cats, you know that some prefer one thing and some another. In tests, Whiskers is the most preferred cat food. Now there's new best quality ever Whiskers. It's more chunky and more succulent. Your cat will tell you it's the most enjoyable Whiskers ever. New best quality ever Whiskers. Our best just got better.
Just 2 short blasts of Arid Extra Dry and mild-mannered Eddie Essex is super cool. Arid Extra Dry for men.
Look at that.
Oh, yes. Don't see many of those around these parts.
What is it?
Well, you notice the rear wing there?
Yes.
And the unusual colouring?
Yes.
Notice how it seems to be keeping rather low.
It's making some wonderful sounds.
Stereo?
Oh, yes.
Thought so. An XR3i, unless I'm very much mistaken.
Well, it may look like an XR3i, but in fact, it's an Escort Eclipse. What's an Escort Eclipse? About £3 less than an XR3i.
The limited edition Escort Eclipse 1.3 at £8,595. No one should miss it.
Do these babies want their British gas heating turned up or down? He's happy. If he was cold, his fur would stand up to trap warm air. He'd shiver, increasing his body heat by 5 times. He'd hug himself to keep warm. She's not saying much. If her fur is standing up, it's hard to see. She won't have the ability to shiver for months or hug herself. The only way to tell is to touch her. She's fine. Hardly surprising. British gas central heating is one of the most controllable systems known to man or beast.
2 years ago, dispatches first argued that the accepted wisdom on AIDS was misguided and that the HIV virus might not, after all, be the cause of the disease. This week, dispatches returns to the story, arguing now that AIDS as we know it may not even be infectious.
My hypothesis is that AIDS is caused by non-infectious agents.
If HIV has nothing to do with AIDS, and AIDS is not infectious, we are living through one of the biggest scientific errors in history.
Dispatches tomorrow at 8:30 on Channel 4.
Now the checkout team reports on the sun-seeking habit that could be killing us.
If you would like details of the items in this week's programme, you can order our fact sheets from Checklist, PO Box 4000, London W3 6XJ, or Glasgow G12 9JQ. Mark the envelope Checklist 5 and include a postal order or cheque for £1 made out to Channel 4 TV. Or you can ring this credit card line 0839 777799.
The power to change society lies within us all, a philosophy two women share next, both fighting for third world change, one to suppress political corruption in Brazil, the other for women's rights in Manila's slums. Portraits of Change is after the break.
On television, Mr. President, you look much smaller.
To quote Mr. Gardner, as long as the roots of industry remain firmly planted in the national soil,
all is well, and all will be well in the garden.
Peter Sellers, Shirley MacLaine, Being There.
Such a kind and sensitive man. Don't you think?
Being There on Channel 4, tomorrow night at 10.
What's made with pure sunflower oil and has a taste that will make you shine. Oh, Vitalite. Oh, Vitalite. That's right.
I know, but he won't listen to me. He's packed his bag and he's leaving. I think you better come home.
So, you want to leave? Okay, let me help you. You're going to need plenty of clothes, because Mummy's not going to be there to wash them. Some books and games to keep you busy. It's a good job we've got plenty of room in the back here. You're going to need something to sleep on, and a friend to say goodnight to. Okay, where do you want me to drop you?
Shall we unload the car?
Now available at 0% finance over 2 years.
Good, meaty nourishment. That's what Pedigree Chum is famous for. And these people who breed and care about dogs believe that for nourishment, with real enjoyment too, there's dog food and there's Pedigree Chum. That's why so many top breeders recommend it.
Finding yourself stuck with no money can be embarrassing, but don't panic. Just call someone who'll send you the money you need and ask them to pay it to their nearest Western Union agent. There are thousands of them in North America and now hundreds in Britain too. Once the money's sent, it'll be waiting for you in 15 minutes. So, the next time you're stuck without anything on you, remember, Western Union money transfer is now available in Britain. For your local agent, free-phone Western Union money transfer.
It's a fact that 9 out of 10 people still aren't eating enough fibre. So it's worth knowing that in a single bowl of Kellogg's All Bran, there's about as much fibre as you'd find in 21 tasty new potatoes. Kellogg's All Bran, a great fibre provider.
Under test conditions, a stunt driver puts Continental tires through their paces. Just how good are German-engineered tires? Tires. German engineering where you need it most on a car.
The forbidden flavors make the drink taboo. Discover the mystique that makes Mirage. Taboo and Mirage because moods are never the same.
Now on 4, bereft by emotional trauma and surrounded by corruption, 2 brave women continue to fight for political change and justice. If you'd like a free booklet of information on Brazil and the Philippines from the woman's viewpoint with ideas for discussion, send a stamped addressed envelope to PO Box 4000, London W3 6XJ or Glasgow G12 9JQ. At 9 next week, the drama documentary A Journey of Hope presents the life of a great Welshman critic and political activist, the late Raymond Williams, a man whose ideas rocked the intellectual establishment. Over on ITV shortly, the news at 10. Here on 4, they say it takes 2 to tango, unless of course your dance host just happens to be that king of Dayglow and Diamante, the very lovely Julian Clary.
Keep the change, Sonny.
Thanks a million.
He's bluffing.
Keep the change, Sonny.
Your eyes could melt the hardest heart. They sparkle like the stars. Zabba-doo-doo-doo-da. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. La-da-da-dee-dee-dee.
Malcolm the Mountie always gets his care. Labatt's and Labatt's Strong.
Can I help you, sir?
The balance on my Instant Extra account, please.
I'll just tap in your details.
We're in the money. We're in the money. We've got a lot of what it takes to get along. We're in the money. Come on, money. Let's spend it, lend it, send it, going along.
With an Instant Extra account, you'll enjoy high interest and instant access. And we won't make a song and dance about it.
Take home a Gino Ginelli ice cream on Piazza Italia. Italian chic, Italian style, Italian verb, Italian cool, toffee, fudge, chocolate, mint choc chip, tutti frutti, water cutie. Take a Gino home with you.
Gino Ginelli, the ice cream sensation.
Gino, oh Gino Ginelli.
Nothing escapes Agfa. Agfa film captures and delivers every shade of color and every minute detail. That's because Agfa has high-definition color. Nothing, no nothing, escapes Agfa.
Come and discover a world of contrast. Alton Towers, where wonders never cease.
can't forget.
It's not football. It's a private function.
Oh, I can't stand this. Look at the floor. Oh, I was quite right not to want kiddies if this is what it's like.
Do you want to put me in a home?
Oh,
Shut up.
I didn't say anything.
I want a future that will live up to my past. But when's it going to start?
Thursday at 9.
It's not just pork, Gilbert. It's power.
Channel 4. A different set of goals.
Now, I'd stand well back if I were you, unless, of course, you're ready to be chosen for an embarrassing 50 minutes with the lovely Julian Clary.